Welcome to Clark County Today. I'm your host, David Medor, and we have for our guest here, Jon Russell. You were a council member for the city of Washougal. I was almost going to say Camas.
City Washougal.
One of the obvious questions here is I just read about a event that happened there on Monday.
Yes.
Where there's something happened in the council, and two of the council members, you being one of them, ended up walking out of that council meeting. What happened?
Well, what happened is we had two of our council members go on vacation. So we had a total of 5 council members then come to the meeting.
Okay, so there's normally 7.
Normally
two
7.
Two are gone, so at least 5.
At least 5.
And you need 3 for a quorum?
No, you need 4 for a quorum.
4 for a quorum.
Yes.
Okay.
And we were in the going through our regular process through the agenda. We actually went through our agenda and got down to the end after public comments where the mayor makes his comments and then the council makes their comments, and then we adjourn the meeting. So there's nothing else left on the agenda. And so the mayor brought up to the council that he would like us to pass an ethics committee that evening, and without really any kind of formal discussion about it.
So this is not on the agenda?
Not on the agenda.
So he brought up something that, don't you need to have notice in order to take an action item?
Well, yeah, unless you move to suspend the rules, and then you're able to proceed and bring forth. No.
Okay. So it's really, you're kind of, at that point, the mayor was wanting to do something, but he forgot to follow protocol or whatever the rules are.
Yeah, and I think that that's what it was, and not that there were 2 council members missing. And so, I really believe that we need to follow proper protocol in these meetings. We established 2 months ago, we made a law, an ordinance, that stated that you cannot form a committee or appoint members to that committee without going through the appointments committee first, and then to the council at large for a vote. So the whole council can vote on it. That's the proper procedure for appointing members to a committee.
Okay, so this is a relatively recent decision that the whole council made.
Yes.
That said if you're going to appoint a committee, the whole council needs to be there in order for that to be valid.
Well, not that the whole council needs to be there, but if you are wanting to appoint members to a committee, it needs to go to an appointments committee, which is made of 3 people.
Okay.
And then that committee vets the names and proposes names to the council as a whole. And then the council, so there's a process. Okay. So, and then what that does, it keeps, from things like this happening, where you've got maybe a night where 2 council members are gone, and then, 3 decide they want to move something, and there's no recourse to stop it. So when we walked out of the meeting, we did so in order to delay that decision on the appointment.
Okay, and just to back up on that, so so the mayor brought up this and said, I want to be able to do this.
Yes.
There must have been some discussion there that said, well, this isn't really on the agenda or something like that?
There was discussion as of the proper way to do this.
Okay.
The proper way to do this was to send this committee and the committee nominations to the appointment committee.
Okay, so one of the council members said that to the mayor, and how did the mayor respond?
The mayor said, that's not how the law is written, and we're going to do this. We're going to do this anyway. Even though that was clearly the intent of why we passed what we did, 2 months ago.
And there must have been some response back to that.
It was my response, and my response was, we need to follow proper procedures. It protects the system. It protects the way we do business.
Okay.
And protects decorum.
And his response back?
No, we're doing it tonight.
Okay. Do you guys have CCTV, you have cameras there?
Well, we do have a camera there. It's very far up, but it is hooked into the microphone system. Yes.
Okay, so they can. Is there a
place? It's on YouTube. Yes.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so is that normal practice?
Yes, we put every meeting on YouTube.
Okay, and how do people find that YouTube?
They could just do a search on City of Washougal when they go onto YouTube's website.
Okay.
And it'll bring up all of our meetings. I think for the last maybe year and a half.
So if we want to be able to include a link on this video,
if it's uploaded, yes.
We'll see if our video crew can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if the most recent meeting is up there.
Okay.
Sometimes it may take them a few days to get posted. So.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, so that was recorded, so we can find out what the conversation was, and were the emotions cool, and this is all logical and rational?
Yeah,
there wasn't any heated debate.
Yeah, it didn't get very heated. It was basically, listen, we have a proper way of doing this, and so Councilman Delavar got up and left first, and then I realized
just silent, just
got up and left, and I realized I realized if I left, it would delay the debate.
Okay.
So I got up and I left the building as well. And by doing that, it basically brought the meeting to a halt so that we could pick it up again at the next meeting.
Okay.
So when we get back together on Monday, we will have the ability to, and the whole council will then be there, all 7 of us. We can really discuss and talk through these issues. And I think that's going to be the important part.
Sure.
The whole thing on Monday night was really about procedure and process more than it was about anything else, I think.
So at that point, because the mayor he really has charge of the meeting, is that right?
Yes, he's the chairman of the meeting, correct.
Okay, and if he wants to proceed, and you relate that hey, this isn't following according to we understand the resolution we just passed, and if he still wants to proceed, about the only is that the only recourse you have to say, hey, then we got to stop the meeting?
Yeah, it's really the only recourse. But in the way the laws are written, as the chair of the meeting, you're not even supposed to enter into debate. That's the way the state laws are written, the RCWs. You are not allowed to enter into debate. As the chair, you are to maintain a neutral position. So even within bringing this up and bringing this before the council as the chair of the meeting, he was in kind of a violation, I would think, of the RCWs, in my opinion.
Okay. And this, on reflection, some newspapers can make hay out of this, and this big dramatic scene unfolded where a council member stomped out of irate or whatever. They can try to turn this into some huge story. Yeah. That didn't happen at all, it sounds like. It was a rational move to be able to bring order, patience, and the business. There's nothing critical about the timing of this.
Right.
So the next council meeting, everybody can be there, you can take it up, and there's no question as to whether or not you're following proper resolution or protocol or law.
Right, that is correct. There was no hurt feelings, I guess you would say. It was basically, guys, we just need to slow this train down.
Okay.
And so when we got up, we just walked out. It ended the meeting. The meeting had already ended, basically. We were just in the last, public comment, or the comments of the council. And
so all the rest of the business was taken care of?
Yeah, city's business was already done.
Okay, all right. Was this the first time that anybody walked out in your recent memory in a council meeting like that?
I think it was. Maybe I don't know.
So
it wasn't
not normal.
It wasn't normal, and it really wasn't It wasn't anything that was planned. We were there to go through the meeting, and then when we realized we had no other recourse than to stop the meeting and then resume it later next week.
Has there been any communication with the mayor since then?
I sent him an email yesterday and just basically asked him some of the things that he had said in the paper about me and about the situation. I went to him and I said, please tell me where I'm wrong in this, and I'll apologize, and back off my statements that I have made in the past about the way the business is being run. And so I as of last night, I had not received a return email. So, it's really unfortunate, because I would really like for us to do what's best for the city, which is move past politics, which is move past one-upsmanship, and rather just focus in on how are we going to bring jobs into Washougal.
Okay.
How are we going to, attract more people to come and visit there, so we're a destination city and not just a drive-by city. These are the kind of discussions we should be having, not about, partisan, political, witch hunts and so forth. So it should really be about, the people's business, and so I'm hopeful that we'll be able to come together and come about with a solution that reviews our policies, and then we can move on to things that are really important to the people.
Which sounds very sensible. I'd like to talk with you further about that
in
a minute.
All right.
Thank you, sir.